Conservative law firm is taking the Madison Metropolitan School District to court.
This after a public records request made by the firm, Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty, or WILL, has gone unfulfilled for almost a year.
NBC 15's Elizabeth Wattis joins us now with more on the documents the group says MMSD refuses to give them.
John and Maria, last January, WILL requested documents from the district that they say could prove the district has been discriminated against students based on race. By law in Wisconsin, a public entity has to fulfill open records requests, quote, as soon as practicable and without delay. The Attorney General's website saying 10 days is typically a reasonable amount of time. Well, it's been exactly 351 days since WILL asked for their data, and the open records request has gone unanswered. WILL's lawyer on the case says the lack in transparency should be concerning to all parents and taxpayers.
How are media organizations supposed to report on what's happening in a school district if they file a record request and have to wait for months or a year to get records? How are parents and taxpayers supposed to hold the school districts accountable if it takes that long just to fulfill simple records requests?
MMSD's communications director, Tim Lamont, sent a statement to our newsroom. He wouldn't comment on the pending litigation, but says the district, quote, strives to create learning spaces where all students, staff, and families can thrive.
And Elizabeth, you've had similar issues with open records requests with MMSD, right?
Yeah, I've done stories about it. Right now, I'm in the middle of an almost 10-month battle for records about a former head football coach at East who resigned after coaches and parents were questioning his character and credibility. Before that, I had to wait 7 months for a different request, trying to learn how many requests the district gets and how many they fulfill.
Well, Elizabeth, thank you. And I know you will keep us updated and posted if and when you receive those records.
Yes, I will.